Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a bonus reading for the sign of Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Leo, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I'll never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. Leo, I hope that you're doing well. Today's reading is really special because it deals with messages from your future self. And it's based on meditation that I once did where my future self thanked me for all of the struggles and trials that I was going through in that present moment. It was a guided meditation that I watched on YouTube, and it made me very emotional, and it also inspired me because, even if we look at where we are in this very moment, and we can look back on our past, our younger selves, and we can thank our younger selves for not giving up, not giving in, able to carry us this way, this whole time. So for your reading today, I'm also putting a Prehnite crystal on the table because at the time of this reading, there's Mercury retrograde and impending eclipses, and it's always good to have some Prehnite around. I wear Prehnite as well during these times. Two very special decks that I'm using today, brand new, the Healing Heart Oracle for overall energy, and this amazing, just beautiful brand new deck by James Eads called the Mira Visions deck, which is both tarot and oracle together. They're lenticular cards, which means that they have two images in one. And for clarification, Spirit wanted me to use the Mystic Mondays. So cards have been pre-shuffled. Leo, candle is burning. Let's see, what's for Leo, please, Spirit? For Leo. Oh, nothing came out upright, so one more time. For Leo, please. For Leo, thank you. Nope, nothing yet. Sorry, Leo, just fast forward this. Thank you. Wow. Oh, so beautiful. Number 34, which reduces to a 7, which is the Chariot card in the major arcana of the tarot, talks about victory, travel, mastery over the light and dark. But for you, it's divinely connected heart meet your karma. Look at that. That card just absolutely glows, doesn't it? Divinely connected heart. Sorry, I heard a radio outside. I was trying to make out the lyrics. It's not a song that I recognize. Sorry, Leo. I don't take anything for granted when I read, and I don't edit anything out, so. But maybe it just kind of represents the mood that you've been in lately. Maybe you've been playing the music loud. Maybe you've been singing and dancing. Something has been inspiring you. This is very much in keeping with the solar plexus chakra, these gold tones, these yellow tones, talking about a place of strength and self-confidence. But it also says meet your karma. So the strength to on a soul level, own up to our responsibility in things, right? Karma is all about balance, cosmic balance, where if we did something to someone in a past life or even this life, that, the universe will just send us back that energy. And maybe you're at this point where you're reassessing things and looking at the part that you played in how things have turned out. Whether positive or negative or however you want to look at it, I feel as though there's a reckoning with you right now, which is good, right? It shows like it shows a level of maturity, which is always wonderful. I just had a beautiful conversation with a Leo, who is a beautiful spiritual teacher for me. And we were talking about this concept and leadership, and also just this idea of wherever you are, be the adult in that room. You know, it's not so much be the light of that place, although we should try to be the light of wherever we are. But it's actually a video I saw on Instagram or TikTok. There's somebody said, you know, if you're in a room full of people, just be the adult. You know, like be the mature one, be the one who, it's not about control. I mean, maybe it's about self-control, but it's also just like a calmness in your maturity. It's kind of what I'm feeling right now. I'm asking for 8 cards. And even with your overall energy, Spirit is kind of hesitating to give me the messages. So I'm going to kind of draw upon Lapis Lazuli right now. Any messages for Leo? Maybe a short reading. Okay, here we go. 4 cards down, 4 more cards. Thank you, Spirit. You got an extra card, so I will show that to you. You got, as the extra card, the 6 of Chalices, or the 6 of Lotuses. So now you can see these beautiful lenticular cards. It's kind of a combination of many of this artist's decks. 6 of Chalices is the 6 of Cups. It's looking back to the past with fondness, recognizing how far we've come, how much we've matured, how much we've grown and blossomed. So you could really be kind of steeping in this energy right now, kind of basking in, could be your accomplishments or your, these beautiful emotional waters that are kind of showing themselves right now, that you're, I almost want to say, it's like you're appreciating the person you are today. And that may be a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing for people sometimes to just say, you know what, I'm a pretty cool person. I'm a pretty beautiful person, and I really am caring, and I'm a good friend, and I love people, and everything is, I worked hard to get to this place of acceptance. This is kind of the messages that I'm hearing right now. So for the past energy, 8 of Pentacles, 8 of Trees. 8 of Pentacles in general talks about somewhere where we invest the majority of our time. So this could be a workplace scenario, or it could be, you know, if you're retired, it could be, you know, dealing with your family or your community. Maybe you're a volunteer, I just heard that. But in the past energy, really looking, it's almost like planting the seeds and looking at what you've built, being proud of that. There's this beautiful community setting here. I pulled this card, maybe it was for Scorpio, could have been for Pisces, but like I look at this imagery of this kind of town, and it's almost the way that it's depicted, it's like if you had to imagine utopia, like a place where everything is just perfect and beautiful, and this might be something close to that, right? Where everything is lush and there's order and there's beauty. And maybe this is you trying to kind of build that for yourself. Maybe not quite utopia. It's not necessarily about perfection, but it is about trying to build something that's been a dream. But it's clarified, and it's wonderful, by the King of Wands, the protector. The King of Wands is Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy. So really coming to the fore in your own element. And it's doubled by the Protector here, talking about, you know, we've worked so hard, right, Leo, to attain what we have. We've the blood, sweat, the tears that went into all of this building. And I'm not just gonna let anybody in. I'm not gonna, like, these, like, it's represented by these, like, two sumo wrestlers. All of this effort, all of this energy and action that I had to put in with my own two hands to build things up to where they are now, it's not just for anybody to have access to. So I see you being a little protective at this time. Let me get a clarifier on the past energy. I'm going to ask, why the Protector? 4 of Cups, 5 of Cups. Wow. You don't really see 2 cards in succession like that very often. So 4 and 5, take that as a synchronicity. 4 of Cups can talk about apathy, can also sometimes talk about rejection. 5 of Cups can talk about needing a change of perspective. This can sometimes be glass half empty, ideal, like, not idealism, but glass half empty, what's the word that I want to use? Outlook, perspective. So not the most welcoming of energies, I'll be honest with you, Leo. And maybe this is why it's almost like I don't actually see this as your energy. I see this as what you're protecting your kingdom from. This kind of lackadaisical, apathetic, maybe even cynical perspective on it, where people are not valuing what it is that you've built for yourself. I almost feel a little bit of, you know, yes, this is the Protector card, but I do feel a little bit of defensiveness in the past energy. It's amazing too, right? Because this is the base card in your present energy, 5 of Chalices. This is the same card in a different deck. 5 of Cups, 5 of Chalices. Same exact card in the present energy. 5 of Cups, like I said, kind of looking at what we've lost instead of looking at what we still have. And its counterpart is the 5 of Lotuses. You can see this kind of ship, it's almost turning into a shipwreck, right? Things washing on the shore, things... It's really strange, I'm sorry, I'm very distracted by this person, this young person outside, walking up the street, but they were walking backwards. There's nobody with them, but they were just walking backwards along the street, and it was so peculiar to see that. So it's almost like Spirit's saying 2 steps forward, wait, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I feel as though this represents kind of uphill battle. You're trying to gain that perspective. You're trying, at this present moment, you're trying to you know, because these readings are all about, like, what would your future self want to speak to you about? Like, being careful not to catastrophize. It's almost like Spirit's saying, you already know. Like, if you look back on your past and all the trials and tribulations you've been through and the successes, you already have proven to yourself that you did all those things. You accomplished those things, you got through those things. You mastered things. You already proved it to yourself. So to catastrophize now is not productive, and also it's not really in keeping with who you are, because you've already proven to yourself that you've accomplished things, right? Divinely connected heart. You have spirit on your side, like literally spirit's like right on top of your head, basically, kind of guiding the way. This is clarified by the High Priestess, the Swan, as the counterpart. The High Priestess, this is Pisces energy, number 2 in the Major Arcana. So far, you're the only one that's gotten the High Priestess. Beautiful energy. Talks about somebody who's very psychic, very divinely connected, right? Very, very divinely connected. High Priestess, Divine Feminine, sits at the veil between worlds. So, you know, somebody who has their foot in the material world and their foot in the spiritual. Like they bridge those two and merge those two. Notoriously silent or mute, and also all-seeing, all-knowing. That's what the High Priestess is. It's coupled with the Swan energy, which I think is so interesting. One, because there's kind of a mirroring happening here. It's kind of like what is reflected back at you. But just like the swan, right? There's the swan in the material, and then there's the swan in like the waters. The watery realm kind of always represents the psychic realms, the spiritual realms. The thing about the swan is that it looks graceful on the surface of the water, but we don't see the kind of paddling of the feet furiously underneath to allow it to move. So there's a lot of, Spirit just said behind the scenes, like people don't see. It's not just people though, it's particular people. Because some people see, like your closest people, your closest friends, they see, but most people don't see what is going on behind the scenes, underneath the surface for you. They don't know the struggle. I mean, Spirit knows the struggle, but your family, your community, they might not see the struggle. And maybe that's what's keeping you in this kind of energy where you feel like you're going against the current. And Spirit, I felt Spirit's presence over here, but they didn't quite ring my ear. But I felt a pressure. Star card in reverse, yeah. Star card in the upright, Aquarius energy, Major Arcana number 18. Excuse me, 17. I always mix up the numbers towards the end of the Major Arcana. I don't know why, I can't remember it, but I just can't. The Star card talks about wish fulfillment and healing. But when it's in reverse, it's kind of like we've lost our way. We don't have anything that's guiding us right now. This is you in the present moment. You could be feeling really frustrated at this time. You know, but Spirit wants to remind you, right, with the card that I showed you at the beginning. It's almost like, when in doubt, take a bath. When in doubt, fall back on creature comforts. Not like eating snacks or whatever, which are my creature comforts, which I'm not recommending. That's not what Spirit's recommending. Creature comforts, which are like rest, recuperation, like taking care of oneself. Maybe it requires like a sauna day or a lapse in the pool or walking in nature, grounding ourselves, getting a massage, you know, making time for friends, like getting back to getting back to basics, getting back to the people and places that remind us of our love, the love that's in our life and our capacity to love. Because it's really hard in this Five of Cups energy. Five of Cups sometimes refers to like a little bit of martyrdom and like a self-pitying energy, and you don't want to be in that energy. In the future potential, here's the Four of Cups. Four of Cups. Again, it's happened for you. Hey, not common, not a common happenstance. Four of Cups, Four of Lotuses, right? Here we are. These two cards clarified the past energy, and now in the present and the future, there's still echoes kind of running through your present and your near future, and you have to like really get a handle on that, Leo, because here's that card where I talked about apathy, complacency, rejection. Kind of this lotus, look at this lotus kind of falling by the wayside. Look at this four, that's the Four of Lotuses, the Four of Cups, this character kind of just sitting on the bank looking like all like a sad sack, you know? Arms crossed, forlorn. What's it clarified in the future energy? Queen of Swords, the Dreamer. Queen of Swords and the Dreamer. Queen of Swords is Libra. Yeah, Libra energy. Queen of Swords can be really cold, really discerning. She's usually a seeker of truth. You can see here she's taken full control of this bird that has been a threat to her suit. This thing about this artist, when you look at his artwork, if you look at them all in succession, they paint a whole picture. And I think at the Page of Swords, this bird is like trying to attack, and it's got scary teeth. By the time you get to the Queen of Swords, yeah, she's got it under lock. She's got it under control. So I just want to show you, since I have the two succession cards here, Four and Five of Lotuses, Four and Five of Cups. See, from the Four of Cups, he had those two cups sitting next to him. See, on the Five of Cups, he's pouring them out. Very interesting. So, Queen of Swords is usually somebody seeking the truth. But she also, I love the Queen of Swords sometimes because she's demanding that you tell her the truth. But she actually doesn't need you to tell her because she already knows what it is, which is even scarier. Right? Sometimes, I hate to say it, but I do this because I lead teams at work, and sometimes when they've done something wrong, you know, I'll say, okay, what's wrong with this scenario? Somebody tell me. What's wrong with it? I want you to tell me. And obviously, I already know what's wrong with the scenario. But I want you to tell me. Because if you don't know what's wrong with the scenario, then there's a problem, right? That's how I can be at work sometimes. So that's kind of what the Queen of Swords is about. So it's kind of telling me this is the Dreamer. It's interesting that it's represented, its counterpart is the Dreamer. It's like you're demanding the truth, but you're demanding it from spirit. It's not about another person. It's like you're sitting on the banks here looking off into the distance, calling out to spirit, asking them, you know, if you say that we're so divinely connected, right, help me to understand my karma, help me to understand my path, help me to understand why, why I've been made to learn this lesson. You know, when all I want to do is kind of conceive of something new. I'm going to ask for a clarifier. On the Dreamer, for the future potential, thank you. Princess of Swords. Princess of Swords is the Page of Swords and talks about curiosity. There could be a little bit of spying energy. I actually do see that this time. There could be somebody you are curious about. You could be asking around about that person. You know, what are they up to? But in general, this card talks about a curiosity of the mind space, like kind of looking at a situation and trying to see it from all different perspectives. So I asked for a clarifier for the Dreamer. You know, what does the Dreamer, what's the end goal of the Dreamer? And it's all about just thinking outside the box. You know, you could be, actually, I know several Leos, and I find this to be a thread that kind of runs throughout my connection with Leos, which is that they're all just a little slightly stuck, like in their own heads, in their own mind space, in their own, okay, Spirit just said in the box that they put around themselves. Take it as it resonates. Obviously, it's not going to resonate for every Leo out there, but like, it's kind of like some of you have backed yourselves into a corner. And Leos don't like to be backed into a corner with anything, but you did it to yourself in a way. And the first action to kind of get yourself out of that is to recognize that you put yourself in it, right? No one else did it. It was you yourself, right? What is the Strength card in the Major Arcana that represents Leo? What does that actually represent? A mastery of the ego, right? So maybe if you've backed yourself into this proverbial corner, it was because you had to protect yourself, because you didn't have a choice, or you perceived that you didn't have a choice. Well, if you embody the Major Arcana of your sign, the Strength card, then it's important to recognize, okay, well, now that I see that I'm in this corner, I'm going to make a different choice to get out of it. I'm going to take ownership of the fact that we're here now, but we can be in a different place later, right? And being curious as to how you're going to accomplish that. And then this beautiful energy from Spirit, Spirit's advice, Queen of Chalices, Queen of Cups. This is Cancer energy. The Mender, someone who mends things. Queen of Cups talks about somebody who is overflowing with emotion and love and compassion for oneself and for others. This is like healer energy. And Spirit is saying, you know how you get yourself out of that corner? It's recognizing that you have the power to heal yourself and heal others. It's understanding that you are meant to serve a higher purpose, right? And the reason I say that is because you got the Hierophant, number 5, Taurus energy, clarifying it. And its counterpart is the Phoenix. And they always say the Phoenix rising from the ashes. It's like I just heard that line for that song, "Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years." Don't call it a comeback, because I've been doing this. I've been going through this. Didn't we just talk about this? I've been working on this. Maybe it's a surprise to you, but I've been here. I've worked through and am continuing to work through the daily struggles to get to this point. Right? And Spirit is saying, rise up now. Oh, you know what they just showed me? You maybe, if you find yourself backed into a corner, just kind of rise up out of it. It's like there's an, like you would think, like if I'm imagining a room with a literal corner, and you're thinking, okay, well, the only way out is through, and I have to like get past whoever's in front of me in this corner. Spirit is saying, oh, but there's a third option, which is to fly out of there, to rise up. This is part of this energy, the curiosity, like looking at different alternatives to problem solving, creative problem solving is what Spirit is showing me right now. They're even, look, they're even showing, you see this? This is like a hand that's like 2 fingers pointing up. That's crazy. Oh, it's like this gesture. I don't know if this means anything, but this is what I see. 2, and there's like a hand crossed here and 2 hands up here, like this. I don't know what that means. I hope it's not offensive. I don't know what that means. But it's pointing up. Be the mature one in the room. Be the adult in the room. Spirit is really harping on that. Show love and compassion. Because when we're backed into a corner, we're going to be like a feral animal. Our instinct is to just claw our way out of a situation. And Spirit is saying, you don't have to be in fear like that, because we are with you. Let me get a clarifier for the advice from Spirit. Yeah. We're releasing this energy now. 10 of Swords. This complete leveling. This is one of the hardest cards to get in the tarot. It's a complete leveling. The Spirit is saying you're releasing this energy now. This is that backed into the corner. There's no other choice but up. Like you can't get any lower than the ground. So the next move is up. It's very important. That's your reading, Leo. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Leo.